Just made a new video. I was inspired by fall and the fall colors. I'm sitting under my olive tree, and these are birthday decorations from last May. I just too lazy to take them down, and actually they kind of look cute, so I kept them on. So anyways, painting this, and I just wanted to show you my process here. I basically do like initial sketch, and then I try out different colors. So I just, blob on some paint, and I just try to see what's working, what's not. And then I came up with this, and I filmed the whole process. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. Have a bit of a cold, so this canvas is pretty small, so I find it very useful to use these paintbrushes for acrylic painting. So basically my smallest brush is the 0, and it's a round brush. The next one is a number 2, and I have a number 4, and the biggest one I used was a number 8, and that was basically for the background and the dress. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the video.
So as I paint, I'll be chatting a bit. I'll be chatting about how I get myself to paint, what gets me motivated to paint, and how I get it all done as a busy mom. And at the same time, I will explain to you my art process here. The paint palette that I'm using today are all warm colors, and I'm using a throwaway paint palette, which I find very, very convenient. Here I just trace out my illustration, and I'm using an erasable colored pencil. Here I'm going to challenge myself once again, and I'm going to color in the background, and I'm going to apply color straight onto the canvas, which is a little bit dangerous, but I figure why not? I'm going to just do it this way because it's a lot of fun, and I find by doing it this way, whatever comes about actually turns out to look really nice in the end. The only thing I would do differently is I would actually trace out my subject after I put on the background. So I would say put on the background first, wait for it to dry, and then trace on your subject onto the background. Because it's such a tiny painting, I find that it was pretty challenging trying to paint around my subject. So that is something I would do differently. I really find myself getting inspiration lately. I finally found something that makes me want to jump out of bed and paint. Because for a while now, for a few months actually, it's been kind of hard to get some inspiration or try to get myself to paint. I don't know if you felt that I wasn't uploading videos, and I guess we all go through that, a period of kind of like just sort of losing that motivation, or maybe comparing yourselves to others and just thinking that you can't do it. But I find that I didn't want to go down that route before, because I've done that many times when I was younger, and that has slowed down my progress as a creative, as an artist. And I just find, I'm getting older, and I don't want to repeat the same mistakes as I've done as a young adult. I'm not saying that I'm old or over the hill. You're never too young. You're never too old. I don't want to say that. I'm just saying that now I'm trying to be more self-aware. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm trying to not just give up on things as easily as And I find it's very easy to do that. I can easily find excuses like, I'm such a busy mom. I have 2 kids. I have a household to take care of. I'll never find time to paint. And, doing a little bit of research, diving deep. I've learned this one principle, and I find that it is really working for me, and it might work for you too. And that is the progress principle. I know it sounds all fancy, but basically what it means is trying to focus on one thing a day. That one thing that will make you feel satisfied, something that matters to you, something that you will feel that you are improving on if you focus on that one thing. And once you focus on that one thing, you will feel kind of, better, more control on the other things that you have to do in the day. Once you've accomplished that one thing only. That is exactly why I don't do to-do lists. I just have that one goal. So for example, for myself, that one thing that I try to focus a day is to do something that will improve my artwork, or for example, my YouTube channel. So that could be, I could just say, okay, today I'm going to paint one painting and I'm going to accomplish it from start to finish. And once I do that, everything else can be on the back burner. And then when I actually do finish that one thing that I'm focusing on, for example, finishing a painting, I will attend to other things like making lunch, attending to my kids, social media, whatever that is. And I'll feel okay about it. I'll feel good about myself because I focused on my thing. I feel like I kind of put myself first and I said no to everything else. And it actually does help me feel better about myself, about what I'm doing. And it does actually help in my progress. That is the key. Every time I do something, it does help me improve. I'm not saying that my paintings are great. I'm not sure, but I know that I could not paint like this a few years ago. There's no way. So I find that focusing on one thing a day and saying no to everything else, and then once you have done what you focused on, you can do other things and feel good about it, not feel so guilty about actually sitting down and watching a movie on Netflix because you accomplished your goal of the day. So I hope that gives you some idea of my little busy mom process and how I get things done. And that's it. I feel that it's working for me. I feel a lot less pressure. A lot of times before, if I don't do that thing of just focusing on one thing a day, I just feel overwhelmed on everything else that I have to do in the day. So then I just won't do it. I'll just kind of give up. I don't know if you ever felt that way. It's called the progress principle, and I did hear this from Mel Robbins. Maybe you follow her, maybe you've heard of her. She's very motivating, and I find that she has a lot of good advice for people in general. So if you want to hear more about that, just go find her up on social media, YouTube, whatever it is. So let's continue on to this painting. Here I am doing the face, and as you can see, it's very tiny. So I'm doing very, very small details. Little dots of paint for the cheek color, little dots here and there. And I use my paintbrush in very small movements. And I'm using the number 0 brush. Yes, a very tiny brush, because this is quite small. Yes, I think I would consider this miniature. And I'm liking this painting in miniature. I think I'm gonna do more. It's quite challenging, but I just love anything miniature. I don't know if you feel the same way, but bring it on. So I wanted to give this pixie a very woodland feel, so I decided to paint on some deer antlers, and I think she looks super, super cute. And I just used a little bit of this burnt umber. And instead of flowers, I decided to add in some leaves. So here I'm just rinsing out my brush really well because I want the color to pop out a little bit. So I mix in my greens and a little bit of ivory, and just with a tap of my brush, I tap it on the side to make a leaf shape. It's just one quick tap onto the canvas, and just for the idea of leaves. And then I thought it would be super adorable if she would be holding or a little baby deer. I think they're called Bambis or Bambi. I'm not sure, but anyways, she would be cuddling a little Bambi in her arms. Ooh, if you're still here, that means you're enjoying this video. I'm super happy you stuck around this far. Well, my pixie friends, if you enjoyed this type of video, like it. That way I will know to make more of these types of chat and painting types of videos. And if you want to spread the love even more, please leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section. See you in the next video.